Welcome, and today we're going to be talking about NymN, and we're going to be starting here. This is all about NymN being an influence, about being the alpha, and being a leader. Now, his leadership could be good or bad, and his leadership is also not based on the fact that he's like, hey guys, I'm a good leader, I'm a good influence, you should follow me. Just because he says he is, it doesn't mean that he is. If he tries to exert his leadership alpha self too soon, he might be rejected. So it really needs to be recognized over time. And this right here is also about being a leader. And the type of leader this is about the only way I know how to explain it is comparing it to a taxi driver. You know, a taxi driver can only pick up people who are willing to be picked up, and that's the type of leader you are. You are a person who will pick up those who are ready to experience your unique, inspirational, creative self. Because when you are acting yourself, when you are being yourself, absorbed in your particular process, that is when you are going to be empowering. That is when you're going to be inspirational to your tribe and to the collective. NymN probably is a person who's good at routine, doing things over a period of time. But he also is possibly good at getting plans together in a group. Like, here, this is the work that needs to be done. Here's how it's executed. Not that he's going to be the one to execute it, but he's good at making that schedule. But he does know what it requires in order to get to the next step. Now, this here, NymN should be really careful about because he has the capability of saying yes to the point where it hurts. He's saying yes to his detriment. This could also be looked at in a good way, where he has the capability of just jumping into anything without knowing the details and just going head first right into it. But you need to be careful because you could give so much that it's beyond the capacity of your ability to give. You're a powerful person who knows where the resources are at. And you really do know how to sell fantasy and desire to people. I bet moving is important to you. I wonder if you go to the gym to release all of that junk that you accumulate throughout the whole day. Now, what I do need to mention is that for NymN, he might feel it on a deep level that, his creative self is on. And then it's off and off and off. And it feels melancholic and it might feel sad. And there's nothing that he needs to do in that particular moment to make that feeling go away. Allow that melancholy to sit in. Because at the end of that melancholy or that sadness, there is this creative thing that's going to happen. So, a lot of people, like I said, like to force away that melancholy and try to do something about it. And what could you see yourself doing when you're trying to force things to happen instead of you letting them be? Well, you could see yourself try to grow your environment. You could see yourself trying to push, go harder, longer, just to try to keep up with everybody else. Now, you are in a position where you are well known, so maybe you might feel like you have a lot to prove. Maybe you always felt like you had a lot to prove. Maybe you even feel like you have something to prove to yourself, but you have nothing to prove at all. You are loved, you are deserving. So some of the things that you might feel like you have to prove is, well, you might feel like you have to prove that you're an inspirational being or that you have the answers. You might want to prove that you're a loyal tribe mate and, instead of rocking the boat, when you really want to say no, you say yes because you have the capability of possibly saying too much. Saying too much, doing too much. That's what I meant to say. You might hold on to people, places, things, and experiences far too long, long after they're beneficial to you. So you might hold on to things just to prove that you're a good tribes person, a good friend. Or you might prove that, fuck everybody. I got it all. I don't need any support. I'm going to get rid of the good support systems too. So be wary of that. You are a person who is a fighter. You're ambitious. You have vitality. Once again, you're powerful. One of the most important things about NymN is that he's probably noticed over time that when he talked about his passion, that people would probably just like look up in the air, turn around, start looking on their phones, picking their butts or whatever. And he's just like, guys, I just feel so unheard because people just won't listen to me. Were you asked about your passion, Nim? Did people ask you to speak about that? Now, my brother's like that. When he talks about mushrooms for the healing benefit, everybody starts rolling their eyes. But when everybody asked him about how he's a lobster fisherman, everybody was asking him so many questions and they're so involved in, oh my God, really? Yeah, that's what you do? So, like, people are much more involved when they ask you the questions. So, it's really important for NymN to wait for his recognition of his awesome in order to put himself out there, or wait for a literal invitation. People will recognize him for a good contributor as a group person. People will recognize him that he's a master at something. People will recognize him. He doesn't need to force anything, otherwise, he'll just end up bitter. He has nothing to prove. He doesn't have to go harder, better, faster, stronger, hold on to things, or let go of things if he doesn't want to. He has no environment to grow unless his energy has the capability of doing so. All right. I know it's already been pretty long, but my name is Katie Lynn. If you want to stay for some more hippy dippy stuff, welcome into some more hippy dippy stuff. So, the type of environment that NymN needs to be successful is his network. He understands that his opportunities are in his network. There's his tight knit few, and then there's many. But the type of people that he needs to be around in order to be successful are hermits, drama free people, away from the noise. We could talk about how NymN probably feels like a completely different person when he sleeps or lays down. We could talk about how we really do see him as that leader and we are just waiting for the right time to hop on that bus. He is a storyteller, and we see that. All right. I'm going to stop there because we could talk about so many different things. Come follow my Katie Lynn channel on every platform. Thank you for watching.